What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Lipsticks and Bullshit. I'm way behind on recording, so for these first three videos, it's gonna be the same lipstick, which is, if you didn't catch it in the last one, is Crystal Crush. I know you can't see that. My bad. That was ignorant. But it's called Glitter Goals by NYX, and you can pick it up from Target. That's where I picked mine up at, so I'm really not sure where else they sell it at, this particular one. So yeah, let's get on to the bullshit. So, we are on episode 2 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and this is again season 8. So from our last episode, we have the Mimi and Stevie J situation, which was introducing your child to your wife. Mind you, this was what you consider, I guess, a fly-by-night wedding. Nobody knew about it. Not really sure how many of the other family members were involved. However, Mimi herself and her child didn't know until afterwards. So this is like an all new, brand new situation for these three. So with that being said, in this second episode, Mimi and Stevie J have a conversation because, of course, as the mother of someone's child, you know what I'm saying, you feel like certain rules apply, especially when you're dealing with those kind of situations, people being married or remarried, people in serious relationships, whatever the case may be. As I stated in the last video, yes, this is a case-by-case thing, but being that these two maybe have had some kind of consistent communication, or have like a decent co-parenting relationship, it kind of should have been, played out a little different, my opinion. Also, what I forgot to mention in the last video was Stevie J also asked the daughter if she wanted to move to LA, which of course that would make some people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't know how I would take that, depending on how the situation was presented. I definitely have to think about that. Now, back in the day, I probably would be very stubborn about it. I probably would have wreaked all kinds of havoc, caused all kinds of issues, because that's just the kind of person I was. But to the person that I was dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Not to the, significant other or whatever. So let's just be thankful that, people grow. So with that being said, Mimi also ends up meeting Faith, which is Stevie J's wife. And the thing about it is they agree on a lot of the things that were being talked about. You know what I'm saying? For one, when you are dealing with them kind of situations, it's important that everybody is on board with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You can't just spring that kind of stuff on people and expect it to go well. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So communication is definitely something that needs to be going on. And they both, Mimi and Faith, agreed that Stevie J needs to, communicate more. And he needs to, when he says stuff, he needs to definitely relay that and be a man of his word, which there's really no problem with that. I feel like if you say something or if you put your word out there, you need to either be full-fledged on board with it yourself, or you shouldn't put it out there. And yeah, things happen in people's lives. However, say that. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be out here looking like a whole liar. You know what I'm saying? Don't even be out here looking like a half a liar. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just don't. And yeah, I mean, with that situation, I feel like I'm glad that they handled it the way that they did. It was mentioned that Stevie J didn't tell Mimi, you know what I'm saying, that he had brought Faith out there, which, again, case by case type of situation, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to a different state and that where my children are, you know what I'm saying, of course I'm going to want to bring my significant other because maybe it's a vacation for us. However, introducing that person to the children definitely it's a delicate situation, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? But I am glad that there was no arguing. There was no, well, at least between Faith and Mimi. You know what I'm saying? It was handled very well on both of their parts. So, kudos. Next up, we have Scrap. So, fresh out of jail, you know what I'm saying? Up to this point, he's only had his mother in his life. And I mean, of course, if you want the backstory, you can always go and watch seasons 1 through 7 and then catch up later. But an important fact of this episode is that he was told that his father was dead. And he ends up being able to meet his father in this episode. Not gonna lie, you know, I felt some type of way about that, because I feel like as his mother, she should have done what she needed to do to ensure that the information that she heard was correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just tell a child that their other parent is dead and just be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't know for sure yourself. I know things happen, people lose contact, whatever the case may be. People don't get along, whatever. But when it comes to your child, like, don't be out here having them feel, yo, don't just be lying like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was faulty. And then for him to like just be getting out of jail, like, it's already a lot mentally that he's dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for that. We're up doing homework as well, so it's the pencil sharpener. Anyways, here, give it here. Here you go. Thank you. So yeah, so I mean, with that situation, like, as a mother, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, yo, that was too far. You know what I'm saying? I know people go through drastic measures to protect their children, you know what I'm saying, protect their emotions, protect, you know, whatever path that they have to go through. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, like, that right there, like, that's a lie that I honestly don't know that I'd be able to, like, deal with my mom after that. You know what I'm saying? However, we know that this is TV and they're going to put you in situations that you kind of don't have a choice but to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I'm glad that he's finally able to meet his father, as well as a sister that his mother knew about, but he didn't know about. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on for Scrap. You know what I'm saying? For the sake of the show, it seems like he's holding it together pretty well, but we don't see what happens behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? It could be very detrimental. Hopefully it's not. But being told that your father is dead, that's like a serious thing. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, just, I mean, the whole situation, you know, his mom has been in and out of jail and stuff like that. So it's like half the time, or some of the time, he didn't have her, and then to not have, you know, that father that you running around thinking is dead, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, there he go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, it's just rude. It's very rude and disrespectful. But I wouldn't be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how upset I got at the fathers of my children, like, I'm not just gonna be out here talking about you dead. I don't care who said it. Like, I've got to go to somebody who would actually know You know what I'm saying? We're talking about like 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? He had to live with thinking that his father was dead. And yes, the father could have done more to make himself known, but we don't know all that. We don't know what happened before the show. We don't know nobody's life. So, you know, we get what we get, and we, you know, just base our thoughts and whatever off of that. That's pretty much two of the main things with this episode, honestly. So question number one, with the whole Mimi and Stevie J situation, it is, should you introduce your mother's child to your wife before introducing them to your children? And I believe I kind of touched on this in the last video. However, I mean, I guess we'll touch on it again. I feel like if the communication has been there, everything been good with the communication, trust, I guess, is kind of a big thing too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't really know that you could ever really fully trust somebody. People do it. I can't say that I would never do it or I haven't done it. But there's times where I shouldn't have. So, I mean, if you know that the person you had children with is a person who, you know, would choose somebody as his wife that is responsible, that would care for your child and stuff like that, I feel like maybe it might not be a big deal. If you don't, then yeah, by all means insist that you meet, you know, this other man or woman. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't. A lot of people feel like it's not that big of a deal, but like I said again, dealing with children is a very delicate situation, and you don't ever just want to throw them into situations that they're not ready for, I guess you can kind of say. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't fully know how I would handle that. I know how I've attempted to handle things, only because I do know some track record. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know the person that you had children with. Yes, they can change. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. However, I don't know. I think it's just standard rules and regulations, terms and conditions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We can go on about this for like days or whatever. But on to the next question. This is dealing with the Scrap meeting his father. How would you feel if you had been told by one of your parents that your other parent was dead for all these years, 15, 20 years, for any amount of years really? How would you feel finding out that they were alive? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm thankful that my mom never went to that measure. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, we got to get the focus back. Okay. I'm thankful that my mom never went to that measure. You know what I'm saying? My mom was one of them types of moms that was, to me, she was rare, because I've heard stories of people's parents bashing the other parent and, you know, all this other foolery. Like, my mother would not let me talk about my father, no matter what he was going through. I knew my father was tied up into certain situations. I knew he was tied up into certain substances. However, my mom was like, you're not going to talk about him. And rightfully so. So I didn't have to deal with that. I would not make my children deal with that. Like I said, I'm not just going to go around spreading rumors like that at all. Like, I would have to have confirmed that information in order to pass it on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not cool. Like, a lot of times when you don't have that other parent, especially a father figure, something's missing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's an unspoken thing that you will have some kind of trauma. Like, it's traumatic. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're growing up around people that have both parents, or even if they're not married or whatever. So I just feel like it was real rude. I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that. I wouldn't make my children deal with that. My brothers didn't have to deal with that. So I feel like definitely in that situation, it could have been handled a lot better. However, it's TV, right? So that wraps it up for this one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, you know what I'm saying, if you rocking with the vibe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one, which is episode 3.